Thanks for everyone's help. You're amazing. Here we go. I don't know how many questions. There's two, I guess. There they are. All right, have fun.
Thanks. Mom, did you order the stuff from Temu? No. Can you please?
That was my house. Lydia, I hear the children. Um, all right, great. I'm going to stop the share while I do the homework so I don't give someone vertigo. All right. Here we go. Thank you everyone for coming. By the way, I'm teaching translation every weekend now. I owe my translators their books. I'll do it today or something. Um, but I want more translators, okay? I'm ready for more. So if you're interested in this field, it's horrible, okay? It's a horrible job. It's it's extremely hard. It takes a ridiculous amount of studying. And even if you study like 30 hours a week, it will still take you about 10 to 20 years to get good at it. And then another 30 years after that to master it, okay? And that's if you work really hard, have the best teachers, and plant really amazing seeds. But it's worth it, okay? We're trying to translate all the Buddhist books in the world. There's about we're starting off with about I don't know, I think we have like about 10,000, of which we've translated like 20 or something like that. So I don't know. I want to train about 100 translators, and it's really hard for me, okay? I don't like people that much. I don't like socializing. Um, I don't like talking that much, honestly. Um, but I don't know. I got a gift for language and Dharma, so I just do it. Um, and it's satisfying in the end, even if it's annoying sometimes. So, if you're interested, today we're going to start the alphabet in Tibetan at the beginning. Um, and if your English is good, you know some Dharma, you're willing to study. Um,
Không thể tìm thấy nội dung có thể đọc nào trên màn hình.
VV, quiet.
Yes, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
quiet. That's less quiet. And and you're willing to study and plant some seeds, then I'm willing to try with you. Okay. I am also willing to fire people because they're being annoying. Okay, if you're being too difficult or you're not studying enough, I will let you go. But if you're interested, tell me and I will try. I will give you a book and teach you. Okay? That's my sales pitch for translating. Ask Ask Tin. He was depressed a year ago. Now look at him. No, he's never depressed. But he'll tell you. All right, here we go. Course one, ACI class 6 already. Name the 4 principles of action or karma. Does anybody know any one or all 4 of them?
Yes, action as certain to produce similar results. If you seeds bananas, you can take only bananas, not tomato.
Yeah, good, correct. Actions are certain to produce similar results. Does anybody know the Tibetan?
Le nepa.
Yeah, Lengepa. Yeah.
Le nepa.
Ngepa.
Nepa.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Ngepa means certain or something. Definite. I don't know. Le is the Tibetan word for karma. All right. Karma is a Sanskrit word, which is now an English word because that's what happens with language, okay? When it gets exposed to other cultures. All right, it's a loan word. All right, what's next?
Consequences or results are greater than the initial actions.
Good, very good. Does anybody know Tibetan?
Lepucheva.
Yeah, pel. What's pel mean? Anastasia Panayitova.
Spread.
Kinda, yeah, more like, yeah, spread or increase. You could say spread. Sure. Yeah. Pel. Uh, yeah, and che means bigger, right? It increases in size or something. It gets bigger. All right, what's next?
If you don't do the action, you will never get a result.
Yeah, exactly. I forget. I always forget the Tibetan for that one. Um, but it makes sense. Le machepa, if you don't do something. Um, Tong, this tongue is and, but it's kind of like a one cannot meet a consequence if she or she has not committed action. Hmm. Interesting. This is a very interesting use of tongue. It usually means and, but here it means something more like then, it seems. Then mi trepa. Tre means to touch or meet. Um, so literally, if you don't do something, you'll never meet with a result. Um, which is how we use it in English too. You can say, I never met with the consequences of my crime or something. Okay, what's the last one? Oh.
If you take the action, then you must get the consequences.
Yeah. Just number 3 is if you don't do something, um, if you don't do something, nothing gonna happen. And then the last one is if you do something, something gonna happen. Okay. And there's famous words in here. It's chumisawa. Chumisawa means like uh it doesn't just fade away, okay? It just doesn't disappear, something like that. It's an idiom. Yeah, once chepa, once the action has occurred, once you've done something. Che, uh, che is a tense of the word che, which means to do, okay? Uh, it doesn't just fade away. Chumisawa. Uh, that's it. Those are the 4. What's the most important thing to know about karma?
Karma increase bigger.
What's that?
Increase bigger.
Gets bigger? Is that what you said?
Yes. Karma.
Yeah, that's important. I would say, I don't know, the word karma's been around in our culture for a little while. I don't know. The first Indian yogi came to United States, at least, uh, you know, about 125 years ago. But in the 60s in the United States, there a lot of different gurus and teachers came from India and popularized a lot of these concepts. Maybe not from the Buddhist perspective, but at least the word karma, okay? Anyway, karma, I say, so as a result, anyway, long story short, as a result, there's a lot of different ideas about karma out there. This is, for me, the Buddhists have the clearest presentation on karma in the world. And so I say the most important thing to know about karma is it creates your world, okay? Every aspect of it. So when we talk about karma, it's not just like some idea to forget about. It means what you do becomes what you see. That's what it means, right? And if you do something, you'll get a similar thing, what you see or perceive, or and it will be bigger. What you see will be bigger than what you did. And if you don't do anything, you won't see it. And if you do something, you will. Okay? When I say see, I mean perceive or experience. And for me, this second one, le pelchewa, helps me understand how thoughts create my world, right? Meaning, a thought is a very subtle thing, but it is a thing. It's an event in your mind, right? And I think in our culture, for whatever reason, we're taught to ignore thoughts. I don't know. When I say our culture, I'm talking about US mostly. So maybe I should say mine, but we're taught to ignore thoughts, meaning somehow they're not consequential. Okay. But then what do they do? I don't know. At least I think they're like a wave, right? Like physics, like a drop in a pond, and then create something. At least it helps to motivate your own actions. So, but I think it creates your world. And that's why Jesus said, if you should even think to commit adultery, you have sinned, right? And it doesn't mean you're a bad person or something. It just means even your thoughts have consequences along the lines of the thought you thought. That's all. Got it? All right. List the 6 sufferings of a human life. This is my favorite suffering list. All the Buddhist lists of suffering. Because it's so real to me. Does anybody, just name one of them. Anybody?
We take the rebirth again and again.
Yeah. And that one and the next one, the one beside it's hardest one to prove. The other 4 are very easy to prove. You just have to be an adult. But it's true. Um, does anybody know any more of them?
We
We will
want
never be satisfied.
Yes. I don't like that answer. No, I'm joking. Get it? I won't be satisfied. Yes, correct. We're never satisfied. Anastasia, you were gonna say one?
We want more than we have.
I think that's the same one as not being satisfied, but it's okay. Um, any other ones?
We don't have any certainty.
Are you sure?
There is no certainty that everything lasts.
No, I'm making a joke. Anastasia,
I'm sure.
get it? We're not. I asked you if you're certain about no certainty. All right. Yes, you're right. There's no certainty. Correct. Um, there's a couple more. Anybody?
And we go up and down in our life.
That's true.
It's
Next.
over and over.
Yeah, high and low, right? Next. There's two more. Tin said we're born over and over
We
again.
alone.
Huh?
We alone.
We
die,
what? Yeah.
die alone and stay alone.
Yeah. We live a sad, lonely, depressed existence that goes on for infinite lives. Yeah, that one. And one more.
We die again and again.
Yay! Correct. Yay, we got all six, not yay, we die over and over. All right, let's go over them in order. So the problem that life has no certainty. Good. Here's the word nepa again, but it's followed by mepa, mepa, which means no certainty. All right. Next, yeah, we always want more than we have, or we're never satisfied. I've seen it both ways. Nyompa is not a word you see very often. I learned Nyompa from this list. It's one of the first Tibetan words I learned because this is ACI course 1. Nyompa me. We're not satisfied, literally. All right. Next, the problem we have to keep shucking off bodies over and over again. Shucking is a word that means like if you have corn and you take the outside, the husk off of corn, the part you don't eat, that's shucking. So this word, this word dorwa, means to throw away or discard or shuck. All right. This is where I learned the word yang. Yang ne yang do. Over and over again. Your lu, your body is dorwa, is shucked. All right. Yeah. And the next youngs. So it's not like, well, these ones, I always wondered why there was two of these, but it kind of makes sense. I guess you could shuck off a body and not go to a new life, but then wouldn't you have to go to a new life if you kept shucking off bodies for there to be another body to shuck off? You know what I'm saying? It feels like five somethings, but for some reason this is emphasized, and there's probably a reason for that I don't get. But I guess you could believe that you die but aren't reborn. So the problem that you have to keep going into a new life over and over again. And this is yang again, similar to yang ne yang du, meaning over and over. And this famous phrase, ning sam jorwa. Ning means, in this case, it kind of means life. Yeah, and you see it as need sam jorwa too. I don't know if that might have been a spelling error that got so popular that it became a alternate Okay? That happens in language. If you spell something wrong long enough, people start thinking that's the correct way or that's an alternate way. It's fine, it's language. Tsam means line. This is very famous in like retreat. You say, you create a tsam to make a boundary. It means boundary or line. And it's very important, actually. You know, if you're doing something like retreat, it's basically like magic or something. And if you're doing magic, you need to have very distinct lines. You ever see like on a movie or something, they always make like these clear lines with if they're casting a spell, and then if the, you know, some being they trap erases part of that line, and they're like, ah, I'm free, ah, you know, that sort of thing. But it's the same way in you don't want weird beings coming into your retreat. Ah, sorry. You don't want weird beings coming into your retreat. All right. Either embodied or otherwise. Jor means an action to do that. Okay. Literally to apply, but to do Jorwa. So yeah, you keep crossing the line into another birth, into another life over and over. Right. Ning is related to Ning, which means heart. All right. Like, or essence. The problem that we go up and down in our fortunes in life over and over again. Yeah. Here's Yang Yang and To and Men. Where do you see this word To most famously in Tibetan?
Hi.
Dhyamankata Sutra.
What phrase? How about that? We had
Nah,
we
I
had
don't
it
remember.
we had it in Mixed Nuts yesterday, actually. If you were there.
Perfection Wisdom with the teacher team, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember it's number 4, number 5, something.
Tori means
Yeah, yeah.
higher realms, upper realms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday we had a good class. We learned the Drukdrel Sum de deux of a tenchu. The 6 things that should be free of and the 3 things it should have. It was a pretty cool list. I liked it. Men, what about men? Where do you see that most famously?
Lower Ram.
No. Good guess though. You're like, I got this. Uh Hinayana, or like smaller vehicle, um as opposed to Mahayana, okay, is Tek Men in Tibetan, okay? And Yorwa means that will occur, okay, or that's going to occur, something. Do is a particle, a preposition, all right? All right. Yeah, over and over we go up and down, up and down, up and down. If you practice Dharma for a long time, it starts to flatten out more and more. Okay? It goes like this, your whole life's like this, but then if you start practicing Dharma, it starts going, especially if you meditate a lot. All right. As you get closer to shamatha and vipassana, your life will start to, it's very hard to get emotional, it's very hard to get upset. You still have the potential for that. You're not a arhat or something. You haven't achieved nirvana, but it becomes harder and harder, you know, and you're more stable. And even if you do get upset, it doesn't last as long. And you can't go so crazy. It's hard to go so crazy, you know, if as a Buddhist training, because you also have ethics in your head all the time. And if your concentration gets really good, it's hard to forget your ethics. All right. All right. And last, and certainly not least, Oh, yeah. The problem that no one can come along with you. Ultimately, we are alone. This might be a good thing. Joking. Yeah, it's suffering. Um, it's very hard. Especially for children, okay? Children need children can die from not getting enough touch. Do you know that? If a child isn't held enough, they can die. Like literally, just from that. If even if they give them all the food, everything, if they're not held, they can just die. So, you know, and if you're and that can have lasting effects on somebody, even if they live through something difficult like that. So, um, anyway, um, it can be hard at times. So if you start to practice really hard, you'll find corners of your mind that feel very alone. And you will work through it, but it's hard. Trok mepa. Trok means friend or accompaniment. Someone that literally means to accompany. Um, and mepa means not. We had it in nepa mepa, the first one. All right, those are the six. Yay! Buddhism has the best lists, okay? All right, number three. What is the point at which you know you've developed true renunciation? I want Tin to answer because apparently he's memorized the poem.
Yeah. Uh, when you begin to think both night and day of achieving freedom,
Yeah,
then you get you found renunciation.
yeah. And it's the greatest blessing and the greatest curse too. Okay. Seriously, you can't think about anything else. Or everything else is just a complete waste of time. And even if part of your mind wants something, you're like, you can't do it. People are like, why do you teach so much? I'm like, I have to. What am I gonna do? I'm I'm gonna die any second. I have no idea when, and I have no idea where I'm going. I'm not an Arya. I'm not an Arhat. I'm not a Buddha. I have no guarantee whatsoever. I'm not gonna end up in some horrible place, hell, or I don't know, some crazy place. Who knows, right?
Yes, such a night.
So, so therefore, I have to just plant seeds all day until I get tired, and just pass out. And it works, okay? Eventually, it's like this. It's like, and eventually it'll start to go like that, okay? And it's hard not to do anything good, or people will just hand you money, and then you'll be like, okay, and you just hand it to someone else, and then someone else will hand you more money, and then you'll keep teaching, and someone else will teach you more, and then you'll have more students, and they'll have more students. There's a point where it starts to, you still have to work hard, but it builds momentum, okay? It takes a while though, so don't quit. All right. When you think night and day of achieving freedom and no longer have any attraction to the so-called good things of this life. Mhm. And you have to have it to become enlightened. And to get enlightened is too hard to not to do other things. And most of it is inner. It's how you think. It's not what you're doing outside. Most of it is inside. You can teach a million classes and not have renunciation. You could, I don't know, be unhoused and walking around the street and have total renunciation and on your way to Buddhahood. All right. Most of it's mental, but generally, you can generally tell if someone has it or is approaching it by what they're doing outside. At least if you watch them for a while. All right. You can tell by how many classes they come to. All right, that's it. Any questions? Some of these classes aren't that long, okay? Which is fine. It gives me a break. And some later are going to be very long. Course 15 and the review courses. Okay, the homeworks are hard and long. So enjoy it now. By the end of the week, we'll be done course 1. We'll start course 2, I think Saturday or something. All right. Or maybe Friday. I don't know. Can I do math? Today was 6. Yeah, Saturday. All right. Yes. No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much. If you'd like to come to my next class, it's in 23 minutes. Who has the link? Someone put the link in the chat. If people just want to check out class, you can come for free. I don't care. It's on how to heal every single disease possible. I think it's a helpful skill. All right. All right. Any questions? I'm gonna go eat my breakfast.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's a
you.
late breakfast, teacher.
Quiet, you. Wait, no one put the link in? Hold on, I'll put it in. Um, mm, hmm.
All right, it's done.
Tujiche, Sanyi Jayo.
It's Sunny Jayon. All right, everybody. See you in 20 minutes if you want to come to um acupressure class. Otherwise, see you tomorrow. We'll keep going.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're
See you
welcome.
Thank you.
See you.